Hey, welcome everyone to another privacy tech video. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to hide your home in Google Street View. Now, if you want to see the written version of how to get this done, you can find a link to my website in the video description. Now, I have divided this video up into chapters, so if you want to skip on over how to just do it, get the steps done, it's really fast and easy. You can jump straight to it. Although I don't recommend it, I recommend that you hear me blabber away first. I got some important details to note for all you good folks. First and foremost, this requires you to submit a request to Google, and if they approve it, then of course, then it blurs your home. However, if your request is approved, you cannot undo this. So once your home is blurred in Google Street View, it cannot be undone. So that means even if you're planning to sell your home in the next year or two, and you're concerned that maybe potential buyers might be off-put by that, which they shouldn't, just be cautious and mindful about that. Also, if you're running a business, obviously this is a horrible idea. And another important note is if you live in an apartment building, there should be no concern with privacy. I mean, you're one of dozens and dozens of apartments. Please do not blur out the building, because then you're doing that for the people that reside in the same building as you. It's just pointless at that point anyway. I am a full advocate for privacy, and Google collects too much data on folks. In fact, according to a Mashable article, back in 2010, the company, which is Google, admitted that its Street View vehicles, which continuously roamed neighborhoods worldwide, had covertly been collecting data from unencrypted Wi-Fi networks they passed by for several years, and they only had to pay $13 million, even though they collected data on 60 million individuals. That's just pennies to a company as large as Google to pay that fine. $13 million is too low. Basically, in a nutshell, what this means for non-tech savvy folks is that as their Google Street View cars with the cameras, the 360 cameras, are driving by neighborhoods, if your Wi-Fi network didn't have encryption, it didn't have password, it would slowly creep past your home, take pictures, and collect Wi-Fi data of your network. There's absolutely no reason for them to do that, but that's what Google does. They steal your data without your knowledge and then sell it to the highest bidder. It's an evil company. I didn't want them to take pictures of my home and my Street View, but they did it anyway. Prior to that, their technology was not that good, in which it would actually take people's pictures of their face, including children, and post it online. It took a lot of refinement and years until Google was able to blur people's pictures. But yeah, Google Street View is a horrible privacy tool. Now, a lot of people might argue with me and saying, like, oh, it helps me to find people's homes easier and this and that. Google Maps, not Street View, but the Maps function is very accurate. Like, the worst I've seen it do is maybe place me off by a home's location by one or two houses. At that point, don't be one of those jerks blocking the road. Just pull over. Oh, I'm at house number 70. I got 3 more houses to go, and I'm there. Done. It's as easy as that. Where I think Google Street View is fantastic, and I think it works great, is when you go to like a plaza. There's a lot of shops in a single parking lot. It's hard to find the shop you're looking for, maybe in a big rush. That's when I think it works fantastic. But for now, let's dive into it and how to hide your home. I'm going to give you an example of what it looks like before we begin. So this is not my home. This is just some random house that I'm aware of. And here's a cool thing. So as you adjust to the view, you shift it around, it remains blurred. In fact, if I were to kind of traverse in a different direction, it continues to remain blurred. This is the ultimate objective of what we're trying to accomplish for this video and for your home. In fact, this functionality is so powerful that you notice that when I go to the backyard view of that same house, even that is blurred, which is pretty wild. So that's what we want to accomplish. Okay, so how to get this done? So I'm going to use this local grocery store as an example. I'm not going to hide it because, again, I don't want to submit and block a business's view. It's not nice to do, but I'm just using an example. So when you're looking at your home, we'll pretend the store is your home, you have it in view, and you're at the address. You want to click this tiny little button. It's really hard to see at the bottom right corner. It says report a problem. Then what happens is that you get this little red square, and again, we're going to pretend this is our home. You want to adjust your house to be within this red square. Okay, and when that's done, it basically says, what would you like this to blur? A face, a home, blah blah blah. Obviously in this example, we're going to click a home. And I certify that I have the authority to do this, because obviously pretending it's my house and I have the authority to do that. And you can explain some information as to why you're doing this. And again, they mentioned that this is a permanent change. It cannot be undone. And then you submit it. I recommend using a Google account if you have one, in case they want to get in touch with you. I don't know if that's what the system prefers, your Gmail account if you have one. It doesn't specifically say you have to have a Gmail account. And you might get an email back saying, hey, the change was successful or it was not successful. I don't know how long it takes. Some people have reported it takes a few hours. Some people have reported it takes over a week. So your options may vary. In fact, your request might even get rejected. At that point, you might have to just resubmit it again, but maybe with better detail explaining why you're trying to block what your home looks like. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to hit the like button, maybe even subscribe. It literally helps my channel grow. And if you're really feeling generous, which you're not obligated to, hit that little heart icon underneath this video. It's a super thanks button, because I have to make these videos well, after hours from work and on the weekend, and I edit the videos on the train to my daily commute, so not easy. But yeah, that's pretty much a wrap.